Welcome to the Fans Edge Sports Show. Hosted by your guy Mike. What's going on, man? We back at it with college football. We got a lot to get into it, man. I already see my guy Seaball in the chat. Wow, he the first one out here, man. We appreciate you. Make sure that you like and subscribe to the video, man. We will be coming at you every week. It might not be on Monday. On Wednesdays. We are working on that time. Might be on Tuesday night, so you'll get us a day earlier. But we will be back, man. Today, we got to talk about the Connor Stallion stuff a little bit, man. We still going to wait to see what's coming out. Some things are leaking out. We don't know if it's true or not, but we're going to find out. We also got to talk about week one upsets, who is going to get upset week one. And then we got to talk about super conferences. How are we going to look at teams and view them going forward? Because now that you have, super conferences and potentially these conferences getting bigger, we have to, I think, judge these teams a little bit different, man. So, let's go ahead, get into it. You got the team up north, man. They received their NOA from the NCAA. Connor Stallions, I watched it. I know everybody watched it or has been seeing everything on the timeline, whether it's Facebook, Twitter. Let me know what you're thinking in the comments right now about the Connor Stallion stuff. Do you think that he was telling the truth? Do you think that there was some truth and some lies? Do you think, how was that? And then the bro Ohio, man. Come on, man. Who do we already know as the master of disguise? Tell me if y'all thought that was Connor Stallions, because I thought that that's who that was from the beginning, was Connor Stallions, man. But that whole thing, it was just definitely a fluff piece. You saw the people out there who were talking about it and everything. They were just diehards. Nicole Harbaugh, my whole thing about her, bro, I just watched her bend the knee to Kevin Warren in the Big Ten and then she all of a sudden got this big promotion, all of that stuff, bro. So, here she is again, bending the knee. It just didn't shock me. So that is what it is. But, this week, man, Florida State had went into that game as a top 10 team. Everybody was like, hey, Florida State got the talent advantage. But then when you actually dig down deep, you look at what Georgia Tech had coming back. You see how the offense was changing. You actually watched the game and watched the film, the All 22. Shout out to Minister Sports because they definitely got that All 22 film over there. I definitely checked that out. To be honest, bro, it looked like Georgia Tech might have had the Jimmys and Joes on FSU, bro. Them guys was getting after it in the ground game, man. Just definitely was physical. And I know a lot of FSU fans are still optimistic, saying that it's week one. One thing that I definitely worry about going forward is you have issues in your trenches on both sides of the football. That's not something to be optimistic going into the regular season about, man. But let me know, who do you all think is going to have upsets, man? You saw it. SMU almost lost to a Pac-4. To a Group of 5 team, and they're new to the Power 4. So we're going to definitely talk about that because, like I told you guys, bro, we're going to have to look at these teams different. There are teams that are in the Power 4 that just got here, but their roster isn't to a Power 4 level. So that's another thing that we have to judge. But you got Georgia Clemson. I hear the Clemson fans, some of them feel like they're going to win. Some of them already calling it a loss, man, and they just saying, hey, chalk it up to week one. Don't think that that's how they should feel, man. I think Georgia coming back, they know who they are on the offense. Clemson, we don't know what they're going to do on offense. Are they going to do the same thing that was unsuccessful for the past couple years, or are they going to change it up? And then again, if you're changing it up, they still going to have to work out those kinks. I think Georgia already knows what they are on offense, already has their identity, and also already have their identity on defense, man. Going to Penn State, West Virginia. So this offseason, I'm like, man, I think Penn State has a real shot to compete for their maybe first or second in the Big Ten, right? But as I continue to get deeper into the roster and things of concern about Penn State, almost makes me kind of wonder, especially at the wide receiver position, where they had so many issues. And you could tell, like, Drew Aller was never comfortable. James Franklin even spoke on how bad it was with the wide receivers, and he almost had nobody to throw it to. I would say that their best wide receiver from last year, he left. Now you bring in Julian Fleming from Ohio State. Some are saying he's starting. Some are saying that he possibly won't start. They don't know. I think he goes over there. He should be number one, but we're not hearing that. So, I mean, Brian Hartline, we might have to check back with you. We might have to check back with you later on this season, man. But my whole thing about Penn State is I think Drew Aller's a good quarterback. They bring in a new OC. Again, how is that going to work? How is the chemistry going to be? And then you got unproven wide receivers. How is that going to be as well? Whereas West Virginia, they're one of those teams that bring back a senior-led team, not really hurt too much. So West Virginia, one of those teams, Penn State could definitely be on the upset. And then they're sitting at number 8. So it can get real, real bad for them real quick, man. And then we got to talk about it. Everybody want to talk about this. Miami or Florida? Chat. Let me know who you got, man. Let's look at what's going on in the chat right now. We got my guy, Miz Plug. Any of these Michigan fans, and I like how he used that because they hate when I say Michigan, but damn it, I'm going to use it every time. All right, let's see what he said. Any of these Michigan fans can get the smoke at the game this year. Women Predator, whoa, catching a big face for real. Oh, Lord Jesus, man. Hey, let's make sure we keeping it peaceful at the game, man. I understand people standing in the paint, standing to the toes, man, but let's make sure we keep it peaceful. I don't want nobody out here getting, no charges or anything. We got my guy, Jux on Buck. Shout out to him, man. Follow him on his platform, and he's over there on Minister Sports as well, man. Catch my guy, Jux. Shout out to Jux. But, yeah, I'm with you on the Canes. Here's my only thing about the Canes, right? Here's my only thing about the Canes is I seen what their trenches did against Rutgers. Now, Miami fans will say, oh, the starters weren't in there. They weren't in there going up because they were leaving, going to the NFL, right? Now those guys who were playing, maybe they hit the portal, but you got those guys coming back, right? And I seen what Rutgers did to them in the trenches. And I do believe that Florida might have a little edge, talent-wise, maybe in the trenches. Maybe. I'm not all the way there yet. But I do think that the Canes, they have the skill talent on the outside that's probably better than Florida as well. I think that they got all the pieces to make it happen. My whole thing is they got the Mario Cristobal effect as well, man. But before we continue, man, I got my guy Terry from College Football Style. He's probably going to be joining the Fans Edge, man. So what's going on, Terry? How you living, man? Good to see you.
Yeah, what's up, Mike, man? I'm sorry to be late, brother. Thank you for having me on here, man. It's a pleasure.
Hey.
I'm good. How you doing, bro?
Hey, man, I'm doing good. We talking about Miami and Florida. Miami's coming in at 19. Florida unranked right now. But, I mean, obviously, if Miami loses this game, it would be considered an upset by rankings, right? But it's at the Swamp. I was saying, Florida, if I'm going off trends, right, especially betting people, Florida might not end the season well at all, right? Might not 6-7, we know that. Might not even make a bowl game. We know that, right? But for some reason in that first week, they always playing tough. They always playing good. And then, and we seen them catch a Utah, even when Utah had Cam Rising. So that's my whole thing about this is Can Miami withstand that and beat Florida? What you think?
I'm so glad I got on here for this actual conversation. After looking at the show notes, I'm glad I didn't miss this one, bro. I think this game is gonna be a banger. I really do. I think it's gonna be because I think Miami is actually gonna be good this year, and I haven't been saying that because nobody ever wants to admit that, especially with the way that their fans are sometimes and stuff. But we're crazy too. But whatever. But I think Miami's gonna be really good. But I think that a lot of people are writing Florida off way too early. I'm not saying they're going to be good, but I'm talking about this game specifically.
Right.
So I think it's going to come down to like a last second play or something, man. I really do. I think it's going to be a good one. I want to see Miami lose for real, if I'm being honest, but I don't think they will. I think maybe their talent will win out in the end. But I don't know, man. It's going to be a banger.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be a banger. I'm right there. It's like I want to pick Miami. Like I do. I think that, like I said, I think that they have the talent to go ahead and pull this game out. But it's one of those things like show me. Like y'all say y'all back, show me you back. Like don't just talk about it, be about it. And then I'll be like, all right, man, Miami, they might be a serious contender. Honestly, I think if they can go ahead win this game, I already said I'm putting the house on probably Miami going up against Florida State right now. I mean, because I'm definitely taking Miami versus Florida State right now, for sure.
Dude. after the performance that Florida State put on against Georgia Tech, I mean, I obviously we got to see Miami on the field, right? But if you ask me today, I'm taking Miami in that game too. I agree with you.
Yeah. Our guy Jack said, I hate that the Miami UF game is on during our game. Hey, it is what it is, but guess what? During all those timeouts and everything, all I got to do is turn right here. I have it right on another TV, man. I try to have about like 5 screens or more while I'm watching because I don't like commercials anyway. So if I try to assume as much college football as I can, and then also, catching some good plays from other teams as well, man. But another one that, it's weird how to call this an upset. People are saying that Texas A&M going into this game against Notre Dame at home is favored in this game, right? But Notre Dame is ranked ahead of Texas A&M. And then you hear about the issues that Notre Dame could possibly be having with the offensive line only having 6 starts combined. I mean, what you think about this, Terry?
Man, I think that the wrong team is favored in this game, right? I mean, I think I think everybody agrees with that, right? Like if I had to pick, I'm taking Notre Dame to win this game. I think their defense is going to be really good. And Texas A&M is just one of them teams that's like people predict them to be good like every single year, and they're just usually not. I mean, and then occasionally they'll have the year where they'll come out and like beat Bama or whatever, but I don't think that they're going to be that type of team this year. And they lost a lot in the portal,
Right.
So I don't know. I'm taking Notre Dame to win that game for sure. I think easily. I think Notre Dame probably wins that game by 10 at least.
So they lost a lot in the portal, but also remember there was a trench guy who was about to leave Texas A&M, but he had to return because guess what was in his NIL contract?
Yeah.
So I mean, they did keep some guys. They do have the talent and the inexperience, man. I mean, I'm hoping that Notre Dame. My whole thing is as I said, Texas A&M is coming in. They don't know what their culture is. They don't have an identity. Whereas Notre Dame has an identity. They already have a culture that Marcus Freeman has been building on 3 years, going on 4 years now, So, I mean, that's my whole thing with that. And Marcus Freeman has been in that program, 4 or 5 years. So, I mean, my whole thing, I want to go with Notre Dame. My whole thing, like, I'm a big, like, the game is won in the trenches. So, we're going to see, like you said, Notre Dame does have a really good defense. So, that's definitely going to be another game to watch.
I'll tell you what, Mike. I'm a bigger believer in Marcus Freeman than a lot of people are. I put his name in the conversation when people talk about who would Ohio State's next coach be if Ryan Day were to leave. I wouldn't hate that hire personally. I think I would like it, but obviously that's a whole nother conversation for another day. But I think I'm a lot higher on him than what most people are.
Here's my thing. about that is I think he would be good at recruiting. I think like recruiting wouldn't be bad. Here's my issue about hiring like a defensive. I mean, obviously we saw defense be so bad, but we were still happy that we had a quarterback. We still had these wide receivers and all of that. And we saw Marcus Freeman have issues when he wasn't able to get his offensive coordinator. You know what I'm saying? So that's my biggest thing because, like, I mean, yeah, we struggled on defense, bro. But I mean, CJ was out there keeping us in games, things like that. That's my biggest worry. Like,
here's the thing, though, Mike. If Marcus Freeman was at Ohio State, is that the same issue? I don't think it would be, dude. I think he would kill it in recruiting, and I think Ohio State, with the coaching trees that have been built throughout, like the Urban Meyer, Ryan Day, all that era, I think that Marcus Freeman would be able to hire a big-time offensive coordinator, and the defense, obviously, he would have that on track because that's his forte. That's what he does.
Well, you know what? You might be on to something because with Russ Bjork, yeah, he'd be able to get that big name person. He ain't gonna have his hands tied behind his back like Ryan Day did.
Exactly.
So yeah, you might be on to something. Yeah. But
one more thing on this. I'm sorry, Mike. I'll let you move on.
You good.
I just think that people kind of overestimate Notre Dame and what it is as a program. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to have the ability to recruit like how the Ohio State, Georgia, Alabama, how those teams are right now. You're not ever going to have the ability to recruit like that at Notre Dame. And that's just what it is. You know what I mean? Like, okay, like they're a blue blood, all that stuff because of what they did in the past. But everybody knows that Notre Dame is not going to be a team that's consistently every single year competing for a natty. So.
Yep. Man, but we got some newcomers coming in the league, especially one team that I feel somehow put in a contract, to duck Ohio State. But they're known for wanting to duck a lot of teams. USC, ranked number 23, goes against number 13, LSU. I got LSU winning this game, and a lot of people say why. Here's my thing. Both of the defenses last year sucked, right? But Lincoln Riley even said, I don't think people understand that we are in a rebuild year. I think the issue with LSU wasn't the Jimmys and Joes. I think it was the coaching and the coordinator. And I think that LSU has the talent. Whereas I know USC, they got a couple guys, but they don't got a plethora of guys. And then also I know that their trench play just isn't like that. I've watched it. It's just not like that. Now, am I expecting them to be better? Yeah. They're going to be able to do some things. Yeah. Here's my thing also is, are they going to be able to protect Miller Moss? Like he was able to have poise in that game. One thing that I haven't seen from him is to be able to do it week in, week out.
Right. Yeah. And I agree with you 100% on that. I would take LSU to win that game just simply for the fact that I think Brian Kelly is a really good coach, and I think they got a hell of a defensive coordinator from Missouri. And that was really their problem for multiple years. I can think back, the defense was the problem at LSU. And the thing is that talent is not the problem. That's a talent-rich state in the South and the SEC, man, and they have really good players all over the field. And then you have guys like Harold Perkins who are going to be going into their third year, like their money year. I'm sure they have some other ones. I'll be honest, I don't know a ton, but I just know that they have a lot of talent down there. And I think that I don't even know the guy's name, but the defensive coordinator that came from Missouri and went to LSU is going to have them playing some ball. And I think that this could end up getting out of hand, honestly. I genuinely think that LSU could go out there and really smack them by like 17 plus.
And it's sad, bro, because this is going to be held against the Big Ten, and it's like, damn, it's fucking USC, bro.
But we got to be honest, though, man. Like, USC doesn't scare me either, right?
Yeah, so, they don't.
So I can't pretend like USC is like some, a top dog right now when it's just not the truth. Lincoln Riley has to show me, Like, he had his times at Oklahoma and all that good stuff, but he has to show me that he can put together not just a defense, but an entire team that is going to function well enough to be in that upper echelon. because I mean, you've seen the players last year. I don't know if you remember this, but in the bowl game, the players were saying stuff like, "We're a real team now," shit like that. I mean, why are they saying that? Obviously, some of that had to do probably with Caleb Williams, I guess, ego or whatever being bigger than what the team was overall. But I mean, they got to show us, man. They got to prove it.
For sure. And I was wanting to get into this game, but we'll save it for next week, man, because if Cam gets on here, I know he wants to talk about that. So, but I wanted to know what would be your surprise teams coming out of, I say, each conference. Mine's is, I would say, in the Big Ten, I think Rutgers. I think they really have a shot. Their schedule lines up. That's definitely one of my surprise teams. I would say out of the ACC, Virginia Tech. Hearing what they got coming back and the quarterback, I'm hearing he's underrated. Definitely looking for Virginia Tech. A lot of people sleeping on them, and I don't think that there's much pressure on them at all. And then the Big 12, I would say, I guess Utah's not really a sleeper in there. This team's not a sleeper, but this is a team that I really want to watch, and it's Baylor because of DeQuan Fitz.
Oh, that's interesting. That's very interesting.
Yeah, and then SEC sleeper. Dang. Would it be? I just feel like there is no sleepers in the SEC. Like you got, will Ole Miss count as a sleeper? Because I think people are already counting them. I don't know.
Well, you know who would count as a sleeper down there? The team that we just talked about. I know they're, have the ability to be good every year, but nobody thinks LSU is going to do anything this year. What if they have a top 10, 15 defense? They could win the SEC, man. That would be my sleeper for that conference.
Oh dang! Is my internet cutting out? Oh my bad. I think my internet's messing up over here.
It shows you blurry on my side, but I can hear you fine though.
Okay, well, good. Yeah, man, those are surprise teams, and I wanted to talk to you because. Oh, go ahead, Terry.
Oh, can I give my surprise teams?
Yeah, my bad. I thought that you were done. My bad.
Because I went a little bit different in some of the conferences. So is it okay? Let me ask you this: would it surprise you if I told you that Penn State this year went 11-1, and either way, they either went 11-1 and won the Big Ten, or 11-1 and did not win the Big Ten? Would that surprise you?
11-1 and won the Big Ten, or no, it wouldn't surprise me.
All right. Well, anyway, I got Penn State as my surprise team. I think Ohio State is going to play Penn State in the Big Ten championship this year. And
them Duck fans about to be mad at you, Terry. Let's go.
I don't care about that, man. Them teams from out west got to come in here and show me something.
Yeah, I feel it.
You know what I'm saying? They got to come out here and show me something.
They say it's illegal to eat duck out there. I say, not over here, man. We had duck every Thanksgiving, baby boy.
I mean, it was not the best team in their conference last year. So if you was the best team in your conference, maybe you can come over here and start talking like that.
Right. Yeah.
That's where I'm at with it.
Man.
Penn State. The other ones I kind of agree, so we can move on.
I was about to say, you sure? Go ahead. Tell me.
No, I agree with the ones you had, man. I mean, no, actually, you know what? I do have one. I forgot when you was talking about the ACC. I did have my sleeper team in the ACC is going to be. I'm doing it.
No, God damn it, Terry.
I'm doing it, Mike. My sleeper team in the ACC is going to be Syracuse. I think that they have some talent over there, and the biggest reason why I think that is Fran Brown, not Kyle McCord, of course. I think Kyle McCord, in the ACC, he's going to be one of the top, 3 or 4 quarterbacks probably. Whatever. But I think Fran Brown is a hell of a coach, and I think that he's going to do some big things over there. And we can move on from that now. That was the last one that was different.
All right, man. A lot of people, we're going into this 12-team playoffs, and like I was saying, we got to talk about it. People getting these programs like you. We saw SMU. Everybody was talking about, watch out for SMU. Watch out for these Houston. Watch out for this UCF. And I'm trying to explain to people, like, their roster and their trenches don't match up physically yet to the top teams. Okay, like, maybe in the Big 12, they might be able to do something. But, everybody's saying, they, when they were in the G5, they beat so and so. It's one thing to do that in one game. It's another thing week in, week out, lining them boys up right on the trenches and going full speed, man. Come on, man. So, I mean, some of these programs, already have that and they're able to, get those. You might have better guys on the skill on the outside, but we believe here the game is won in the trenches. So, a lot of that's my whole thing with these conferences and the difference of these conferences. Can I put what does your record need to be in the Big 12 if they need to get a second spot? Does it need to be 11-1? Because I mean, you're beating up on previous G5 teams, and we know that they're not of that caliber. So
that's a tough question.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree with you, and honestly, I think that everybody would agree, and maybe not, but I think everybody would agree that any of the teams that are not in the Power 4 or Power 5 conferences, and they move up into that conference, they're going to have – it's going to take them a little time, right? They're going to have to adjust. And there are teams that you think can probably do it, like SMU, UCF, teams like Cincinnati a couple years ago. You're like, okay, this team could probably come up and they can compete. But the bottom line is it's going to take a little bit of time, right? You're not just going to come in and win the conference probably. And the point still stands that you said. I mean, in the Big 12 specifically, with how weak that conference is, you could probably go 11-1. I mean, I have to think 11-1 will get you in the playoffs, right? But if you lose 2, you're done.
Right.
So.
Definitely, if you lose 2,
yeah,
screw it, coming out of that conference. And then you have where you already heard Matt Rule saying, and I think the Big 10 should get 4 teams in. So, I mean, and I agree with that too. And I think that the SEC should get 4 teams in. Boom. That goes ahead, and that leaves, I guess, 3 at-large teams because the G5 get an automatic bid for their highest ranked team. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy.
And their highest ranked team is probably going to be outside of the top 12. That's what's crazy. So whoever finishes at 12 is literally going to get bumped. And then we're going to just have that G5 team there for a team that's probably better than them.
And we talked about it in spaces. We went and looked back at those 12 teams before, and it's this team would not lose to that G5 team that they would put up there. They just wouldn't.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. We'll see how it works. I just the thing is the G5 team that comes in and they're number 12, they're going to end up playing number 5, right? So they're going to get smacked. That game is never going to be an upset. They're going to be playing the best team in the country that didn't get a bye. I don't know.
It's crazy, bro.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. Maybe we'll get surprised and there'll be an upset somewhere, but I just don't see it.
All right, man. So I want to ask you this, man. I want to ask you this because first-time head coach expectations, I think, are ridiculous, right? We got Ryan Day, and I think that a lot of people didn't understand getting a young first-time head coach, the growing pains and the different things that's going to go with that, right? And everybody wants the win right now. And understandably, yeah, you can't lose to that team up north. That's understandably. Depending on how this NC thing shake out, I might look at that a little differently, right?
I mean,
but going to win a natty, right? We see this trend with the Ryan Days, the Dan Lannings, the Lincoln Rileys, all these first-time head coaches being hired at top program or whatever, and people want them to win within the first 3 to 5 years. And I just don't think that that's a realistic expectation. Back in the day, you got to see where coaches like Nick Saban, Urban Meyer got to make their mistakes on the smaller stage and got to work themselves up. So their mistakes and what that they were known for, the mistakes that they were known for, never was labeled on them during their young coaching career, right? Nick Saban, I think, first head coaching job was in 97, where he didn't win the title till 2007. It took him 10 years. 10 years.
Now, let me push back on this a little bit, though, right? Because I think where that sentiment doesn't apply is when a team has a certain standard. Ohio State, you're just speaking about Ryan Day, right? Ohio State has a standard. So it's completely fair for us to judge Ryan Day based on the Ohio State standard. And ultimately, what we're judging may be we don't think that we should hire a first-time head coach because we don't want a first-time head coach that's going to take ruin 3 potential national championship seasons with making mistakes. But that doesn't change the standard at Ohio State. If you're the coach at Ohio State, it's the standard. I don't care if it's your first year, you're 15th. It's the standard. We expect to be there every year.
I think you went against the grain. No coach that you brought in ever made their chops here, like for the first time. So Gene Smith reset the standard with the Ryan Day hire. I mean, we can say the standard is the standard, and we can say that, Terry, but also we going against the grain going into this season about the standard is the standard, especially when we're talking about the quarterback position, because it's definitely not the standard.
You want to do this? I mean, we can talk about it.
I'm not. Look, it's Will Howard season. Let's go. Absolutely. Let's ride it. I'm not mad. All I'm saying is Will Howard is not the standard of Ohio State. That's all I'm saying.
I have a little bit of an issue with that, a little bit of a problem with that. And the problem is that the standard at Ohio State was created over the last 4 or 5 years. And so it's like prior to that, Will Howard would have absolutely been the standard, right? Prior to Dwayne Haskins. You don't think Will Howard would have been the standard prior to Dwayne Haskins?
We had Braxton Millers. We had Terrell Bryers. We had Kenny Guyton. I mean, bruh,
not better than Kenny Guyton.
We had backups on backups, bruh. I don't. Like I said, he gonna have to show me that you the standard. Sure. Show me that you the standard. Show me that I could put you in the breath of a JT Barrett. Show me that I could do that. But JT Barrett was also, a Heisman candidate before he got hurt. Would have been a Heisman finalist if he didn't get hurt. So I need to see it. Show me, Bill Howard.
Maybe unless he had one of the games where he threw 4 interceptions within that time when he was hurt.
No. That JT Barrett Heisman one was only his red shirt freshman year. That was it. That was the only one he got. He wasn't getting that with freaking Ed Warner and Tim Beck as his OCs.
Yeah. Nah, listen, Ryan Day and Chip Kelly, they need to live up to the hype that's around them both as coordinators, in my opinion. Ryan Day as a quarterback developer, here's your chance. You got a 5th-year dude who you can't say that he doesn't have experience. You got no excuse. You need to make him into a good quarterback. And Chip Kelly make this into a good offense regardless of what we got at quarterback. So they need to live up to that hype.
I feel you, man. And as I was saying, man, took Nick Saban 10 years. It took Kirby, 5, 6 years. And Kirby learned over 10 decades under the GOAT. Dabo, it took about 8 years? I mean, it takes these coaches, there are things that they're going to have to do. And Ryan Day is telling you in 4K, yeah, I had to give up this and I had to learn this and I had to do this. He's learning all of this on the fly. Also, those coaches that was doing that, the college football landscape was not changing at the rate that it's changing now.
Yeah, this is nothing but facts. You're right.
So I mean, he's not just trying to learn how to coach a team. He adjusting everything on the fly, man.
100%. Ryan Day has had to deal with some crazy shit in his tenure, and I mean, he really had 1 year before anything crazy changed, and in that 1 year, it was 2019.
Yep.
Ohio State was a hell of a team that year. Now, I'm not saying the changes are the reasons why they had step backs. Obviously, like you said, just it was a young coach making mistakes, and I don't know, man. Hopefully Ryan Day can be that coach. You're talking about the Kirby Smarts, the Nick Sabans, the Urban Meyers, all these coaches that flashed when they were young as head coaches, but made a lot of mistakes and took the time to fix them. If Ryan Day is that head coach and he wants to stay in college football, which that's another conversation too. But if he wants to stay in college football, I think he can be that. I mean, do you think he can be that head coach? Like,
man, here's my thing. I think Ryan Day has an opportunity to put himself down as one of the top coaches here at Ohio State. There was rumors that he said that he wanted to be that. And I'm hoping that, I mean, the NFL's not going anywhere. So I'm hoping, that's what he actually wants to do. And here's the thing. The foundation is all laid out, right? And like I said, depending on how the NCAA looks at this and everything, let's say Ryan Day goes out, wins a natty, and everything. Like I said, depending on how the NCAA does it. If they say and come out and be like, hey, we don't respect what happened in the past, I mean, and then, I'm going to be like, this man Ryan Day might be, and he win us a natty. He go out and win us a natty. I might be looking at him better than another previous head coach.
I mean, are you looking at him? Mike, we ain't gonna do that right now. We ain't gonna do that right now because me and you have had this conversation about.
Hey, don't let it happen because we definitely gonna have that talk if it happens.
We're not gonna do it right now.
Definitely gonna have that talk if it happens.
I mean, I would have to agree that Ryan Day's losses to Michigan would have some excuse to them or whatever if the NCAA comes out and says, hey, we're going to vacate all these games. I mean, I'm definitely tweeting out Ryan Day is undefeated against Michigan. I'm just letting you know right now. I'm going to do it. But that other conversation, Mike, we can have it, but not right now because I got to go here in a couple minutes. But yeah, I mean, we can have that conversation because I think me and you have similar views on that.
We gonna wait. We gonna wait. We gonna wait on it, man. But hey, make sure that y'all subscribe, hit the like button, man. Make sure you're following us on all social media platforms at the Best Damn Media, man. Terry, before we get out of here, let the people know where they can find you.
Yeah, just on Twitter, really, man, at CFB_stop. Do a lot of content on there, kind of like just learning how to edit. So if you go follow me, you'll see some of my recent edits. But that's really it, man. I got a YouTube page too, but I ain't worried about that right now, man. Go on.
Yeah. Hey, make sure you can catch me in the Discord. Make sure you log in, find out how to get in the Discord. If you need help, hit me up on the TL on Twitter at 216_wildboy. You see it on the screen. And get at us, man. We definitely gonna be in the Discord. The guys is in there doing all types of damn Call of Duty chats and gaming in there. They playing the NCAA. See? Yeah. Make sure y'all tap in with Best Damn Media, man. We doing things over here. We tapping in with everybody, man. Right here, Fans Edge coming back next week. Appreciate you, Terry, for stopping by, man.
Hey, appreciate you too, man. Have a good night, brother.
All right, man.